Hello everyone, I'm Raakhi Rupani, Communications Coordinator for BNI here in the region. And today the member we have on our Spotlight for DNA team is Ankita. Ankita Rao has been a member of the Insomniacs chapter for about close to 3 years. She's been serving on different roles for the chapter. She has been an ambassador for the Gazelles chapter for close to a year and a half now. And recently, she's also been promoted to becoming the director consultant for the Gazelles chapter. So let's get talking to her, hearing more about her journey and her success stories here with BNI. Hi, Ankita. How are you doing today?
Hello, Raakhi. I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's so good to have you back here with us.
Likewise. Good seeing you too. Good seeing you too, and your vibrant energy every morning.
Thank you so much. And firstly, let me wish you a big congratulations for now filling in for Gazelles as director consultant.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's very
How's
exciting and I'm a little nervous, but I guess that comes with anything new. But I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I'm very grateful to Vijay and National Office for taking that call and giving me this opportunity. But it's very exciting. It's more exciting than being nervous.
That's the feeling. But before we get started, again, for the benefit of the youth, of the readers, and for the viewers who've not seen our previous conversation, let's get you started by introducing yourself, your line of business, how long you've been in BNI, and what got you into BNI.
All right, so I'm Ankita Rao. I'm the co-managing director of Freeline Engineering Consultants. We are a 23-year-old family-owned business. We're architecture and engineering consultants. We're based out of Dubai. And what we do as consultants is we basically design. So we are an end-to-end design consultancy. So you have an empty parcel of land. We design it to be warehouses, schools, factories, luxury villas, and not just design, we take government approvals and supervise the project through construction. So it's fun. I enjoy it. I'm an architect myself. I love what I do. I joined BNI in 2019, January 2019. And yeah, so almost 3 years. It's been a fun journey so far. More ups than downs, but good fun.
And of course, for the benefit of all the viewers and the readers, you've taken on so many roles, starting from the time you joined the chapter and also stepping into the DNA team, becoming an ambassador first for the same chapter that you have now become a director consultant. Tell us about what you feel about it and what is your vision going forward for the Gazelles?
The Gazelles are, I keep telling them as well, they are an incredibly resilient chapter. I think they have this, every chapter has a vibe, I feel, having seen so many chapters, and I feel they have a certain synergy that binds them all together. And I feel every chapter attracts its own tribe. Like eventually members that join the chapter end up being people that synergize with the vibe of the chapter, whatever it may be. I think in Gazelles, it is resilience, and that's very, very strong. They all tend to bounce back. They've been through, when I joined them as an ambassador, they were in a little bit, down in the dumps. They had lost a lot of members. The then DC, Mohan, and the LT did such a fantastic job bringing them out. And me being an ambassador, my role was very minimal, but I feel that in that upward journey of theirs, back and the boomerang, their boomerang journey back into where they are today, I feel I learned a lot. So I got a lot more connected to them. I got a lot more synergized with them and a lot more in tune with them over the last almost 1.5 years that I've been a part of their family. So yeah, it's been a very interesting journey, not one that I had expected, but in return I had learned so much, and in a very happy way, I'm very, very glad to be a part of them today.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And speaking of connections, any special connections or relationships that you've built with them? You said 1.5 years. So in this whole journey of 1.5 years, any connections that you've built with them which has helped you grow professionally or personally?
I think pretty much, especially with the LT, because I worked very closely with them when I first, and the LT, a part of them continued on to the second term. This is my third term with them. And But yeah, the new members also, like one of the new members is who joined when I became an ambassador, and I was mentoring him as an ambassador, and he's now in the ST. So he called me when he took on a role, because this is something that I used to do as an ambassador. I would encourage every single new member to take a role very strongly in the coming term. So when he took on a role, he called me, and now this term he is in the ST. So I think seeing that small journey of his, made me feel very accomplished. It's a small happiness, but that somebody took me seriously. It's that sort of a feeling. But he's currently, Umesh is the SP now in Gazelles. So makes me feel very nice. So he was somebody I mentored when I joined the chapter as an ambassador. So seeing his journey and his growth, he was in the MC last. He was in the MC last term. I think. Cut that out if it's not true. But he was in a role last term, very prominent role, and now he's at the ST.
Amazing, amazing. I really feel so happy to hear about this journey of yours, and also with Umesh, who we recently interviewed as well. So again, for the benefit of the audience, you've rightly mentioned about the ambassador role, which you were previously a part of, and then you've now become the director consultant. Tell us, just for the benefit of the new members watching, what is an ambassador's role and how different is it compared to what a director consultant does?
Ambassador's role is actually very, very key and a very critical role worldwide in BNI globally. The role of the ambassador is mainly to be a support system to newly inducted members and members who are under 1 year old in BNI. It's very easy to get overwhelmed when you first join BNI or be underwhelmed when you join BNI. So it's very important to have a very strong ambassador who is like a third party to your chapter. They're not really your chapter members, but an outside perspective on the chapter. So it's a role that's mainly a mentoring role. And the ambassador works very closely with the mentor coordinator and the newly inducted members. So there are a few KPIs for ambassadors to check in with members who've completed 3 months of their tenure in BNI, 6 months and 9 months, just to see how they're feeling, and to basically handhold them, support them, guide them, help them gain the most out of their BNI. So that was the role of the ambassador. It's a small role, but super significant and very important.
How about the director consultant?
That's still very new. So, but I would like to thank Mohan, who went out of his way to train me in his own way. He kept me involved a lot more in the chapter than a traditional ambassador role. And I feel he's imparted, it's just in his natural nature to empower everybody that he comes in contact with, and especially if he has a good rapport with you. I think he does that a lot more. Mohan and I struck a very strong rapport together. So the director consultant's role is a lot more responsibility as I gauge it. But like I said, I'm very new to it, so it will take me some time to encompass it as a whole. But yeah, I do sense the responsibility, and like I said, I'm very excited and I'm raring to go.
Amazing, amazing. And yes, of course, director consultant's role is to be responsible for the entire chapter, and again, to be the point of call with the leadership team. So thank you so much for taking on that role and growing your way into the DNA team. So I believe you also mentioned that you like to learn and do a lot of things which comes to the online platform. And again, seeing how we've transitioned from online to offline and all of these aspects that have been recently discovered onto the BNI platform as well. There are a lot of different tools that BNI encompasses, from the business builder to the podcast. Which one of them is your favorite, and which one has taught you a lot as a person?
I actually quite enjoy, I prefer reading to listening. So I quite enjoy the BNI blog. In my first year at BNI, I remember reading extensively. Like I've read so many of these success stories that are posted on the blog from across the world. Those BNI blogs are priceless. I do that still time to time, not as much as the volume at which I was reading in my first 1.5 years was phenomenal. And some incredible stories. I think they influenced me very, not directly, but indirectly, because it opened my thought process out to the possibilities that a forum like this can offer to us.
Absolutely.
As a business as well as an individual, you know.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I totally recommend that also to all the people watching out here. BNI blogs, BNI SuccessNet, the websites truly are transformational. The stories that they share are amazing. So definitely give out a read to them. Last but not the least, I have another question for you, Ankita, before you leave. Any tips or advice you'd like to share here with the audience, especially the people who are willing to take up new roles, they're not very sure any roles that they want to take up in the DNA team, or even considering to take up any roles in their chapter?
You know, I always feel that roles are there for a reason, and one must always explore what that reason is for themselves. Every single role, whether it is, I started when I joined BNI, I started with being a part of the VH visitor host team, and I was a new member. I was just about under 2 months. So my job on that team was to come in early and put the name placards for all my chapter members. And there's a lot of visibility I got out of that, because being a new member in a large chapter, everybody started seeing me early in the morning, and I got a chance to network that much more. Visitors that came in, I got a chance to network so much with them. So no role is really small or big, but every role is there for a reason. And I feel exploring that reason is very critical and very important. So that's something I set out to do myself, and every role I've taken has been incredible. The best role I've been in is vice president. I would recommend every single person to at least gun for that role at some point, because the amount that VP role teaches you about so many things, it's amazing. My favorite role, that's my favorite role in BNI.
Amazing. The role that many members kind of feel afraid to take, and you have rightly mentioned.
Yeah, they do.
A big learning. It's a big learning, the vice president role. And thank you so much for sharing that with us. It's interesting to know all your thoughts and all your process, how it works. So once again, thank you so much for being here with us. And a big hearty congratulations to you for stepping up, taking up this role. And yes, let's see how the Gazelles perform with your guidance. And big congratulations to you once again on this role.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited. And thank you for having me this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.